This is Leave the Review. Take the Canolli. Tony, Joe's not here. We're not telling him we're doing this, alright? This is kind of a shitty movie review show, so we want you to have as much fun as I have during this. I need you to get on my level. First off, have 3 beers before you start watching this. Secondly, we've turned this into the greatest drinking game ever. And by the greatest drinking game ever, I mean I don't want you standing at the end of it. Here's what you gotta do. 1, every time I swear, take a drink. 2, every time Joe says, take a drink. 3, every time I roll my eyes or look completely bored, take a drink. Every time Joe goes ahead and talks over me, take a drink. Every time I talk over Joe, take 2 drinks. If you see a dog pop into the shot, take a drink. If you see a huge pussy, go ahead and take 2 drinks. Alright? Every time I get up to go to the bathroom, you waterfall that bitch or chug it, and if Joe and I get into an actual argument, then you finish that beer and get another one. If you're drinking wine, you're not classy, you're just drinking a little cheaper. If you're drinking hard liquor, I kinda sorta hope this kills you. Alright, thanks again for Leave the Review. Take the cannoli. Have a great day.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Leave the Review, Take the Canoli. I'm your host, Tony Ranzani, and with me as always is Joe Compagna. Which I must ask, Joe, why is your bulbous package on display right now?
I can't help it, I'm so excited about this week.
This week is of course our salute to porn, but please Joe, take a seat. No one needs to see that.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie, Joe. I've always been a huge fan of porn. I've always loved all kinds of porn. I'm a fan of the classics with the Linda Lovelace and the Jenna Jameson. Now I'm a fan of Hillary Scott and Jenna Hayes, those dirty...
We're not talking about real porn.
We're not talking
We're
about
talking about movies that have porn in them.
We're not talking about real porn?
No.
I knew that. Anyway,
And
what?
do people still have porn on DVDs?
Some of us do.
There's something
Some
called
of
the
us
internet.
do.
The internet.
What movies are we talking about exactly?
Well, for one, there's Don John that just came out. There's Boogie Nights. That's a classic. There's Rated X. There's I don't know what else. What else has porn in it?
Jenna Hayes and the digital ways to do her.
Debbie Does Dallas.
Debbie Does Dallas is classic.
That's a classic.
You know, it even had a plot. Deep Throat.
Oh, Lovelace.
Linda Lovelace and Deep Throat. Have you ever seen Inside Deep Throat?
Mm-mm.
His cock did. Anyway, we're going to start right off with reviewing Don John, which is a new film that came out, directed, starring, written by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's absolutely an amazing actor and going to continue to be an amazing actor until he picks up his numerous Oscars. Frankly, I think that he's going to be just like Leonardo DiCaprio, but, you know, he wins stuff.
Right.
Yeah, he's come out with a slew of good movies lately. He's going to continue to come out with a slew of good movies, and he proved now that he's not just good in front of the camera, he's also good behind. Oh my God, Joe wants to beer. Thank God you waited until Senator Stubblefield sat down. The main thing with this movie is it follows the story of Don John, or John. His friends call him that because of his ability to pull 10s every weekend, which, you know, it takes place in like...
Dimes.
Yeah, it takes place in New Jersey, so pulling dimes isn't that hard there because, you know, a dime there is like a 5 in Los Angeles, so, you know, whatever. But in the grand scheme of things...
say that.
Well, okay, Scarlett Johansson aside, no, it is what it is on it. So basically, I will say this movie follows Don John as he goes on his trek of personal growth. This movie's not... I'm going to say it's not a comedy... It's not a drama.
Really.
It's not a dramedy or whatever you want to say.
I think they list it as a dramedy.
Right. It's a character study. It's obviously no Citizen Kane, but the same way of following one character and their individual growth to go. As Don John ends up meeting Scarlett Johansson's character, which is Barbara Sugarman, which is so a name that should be in porn.
They must have done that on purpose.
Oh, I'm sure. He instantly falls in love with her, which it's Scarlett Johansson, so it's hard not to fall in love with her. Seriously, how the hell did Ryan Reynolds ever bang that? Anyway, he falls in love with her, and she immediately starts changing him in every way possible, trying to mold him into what she wants him to be. But of course,
which is bullshit.
Right. The one thing she can't change is his addiction to porn. and bless him for keeping together with his ability to jerk off on a constant basis. At one point, didn't he say like 22 times?
No, he did like 11 times in a day. Fuck, that would hurt.
You know, I've never hit 11. I've hit 9. I've gone for 10. I've never gotten there.
I've never come close to those numbers.
You never. Well, you know,
That's
some
impressive.
of us are what we call overachievers,
That's
and
true.
we like to go above and beyond. And Joe, with your lack of work effort, I just don't see you to be successful in life.
Right. My lack of masturbation.
Well, if you're going to be good at something, you practice often to be really fucking good at it, all right?
Suppose.
And quite frankly, I could go pro. Anyway, so in doing this, of course, thanks to his porn addiction, it's a story of boy meets girl, boy falls in love with girl, boy loses girl, and boy does
boy
not
don't give a
bother
fuck.
getting girl back. He goes out and pulls some dimes, and then pulls a ginger, and calls it a day. My overall feelings on this movie is I really like the story. I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character was very well developed.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did a great job at developing Scarlett Johansson's character as Barbara Sugarman. I was interested in that character.
Well,
and,
she starts off sweet, sort of,
Mhm.
and just turns out to be a mega bitch.
as so many women do, I'm assuming especially in Jersey.
Right,
No,
that's for sure.
it's...
We're spoiled here in Bettendorf.
Well, when you live in Bettendorf, that's what you find. But no, I mean, no, it does a very good job because it does show you both sides of that, and you get to choose who you're rooting for right off the bat. I would say...
I don't think anybody roots for Scarlett Johansson.
No, I did
Johansson.
Johansson. I did right off the bat.
Oh, yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
right off the
and
bat,
then
I did
as
too.
it started going, it was one of those like, oh,
You're a cunt.
oh,
Right.
wow, I reserve that word for so few of people. You know,
Well,
and
in
I'm
the
not gonna
movie,
lie,
I mean, not in real life.
no, she could treat me that poorly. I'd be okay with it, at least for a while.
For a day.
A day? Are you kidding me? Scarlett Johansson. No, it does a very well job of how it delivers things, and that's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I like how he directs this because he takes it in so many different angles where the computer transitions, I
Right. think,
are great. It's coming back to so many things where it's just like little and zoom, and zoom, and zoom, and it's done very, very well that you're not going to find a lot of young directors do it. Now, of course,
Did you notice the underlining theme, too, outside of the, don't let a woman, in this case a woman, but don't let men also just boss you around. But at the same time, did you notice how, like in the beginning, and he does it with the movies, everything's repetitive.
Right,
Everything's
exactly.
repetitive. The way he gets to church, the way he walks up the stairs,
Yeah.
everything, the gym, everything he does.
Oh,
it's
if you want to
all
look at this from
repetitive.
like a psychological standpoint,
Right.
I mean, he's got major type 1 personality and OCD
Right.
issues. Scarlett Johansson, of course, is an
And then he
absolute
gets
control
broken of
freak.
that throughout
right,
the movie.
and he has to get his heart broken to get broken of his trends.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and give a special amount of props to Brie Larson, who plays the sister, who's silent through 90% of the film and then has the best line.
The best line, most important line.
Right. And she does a great job at being interesting while being uninteresting, which is a nod to Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's hard to direct somebody and be like, you don't get to speak for most of the movie. But
Right.
Brie Larson's she's a great actress.
She gives good looks, though.
Yep.
during
She's
it.
a great actress who's just kind of not so out there or discovered yet. And I think if you pay attention to her, you're going to see her in a lot of great movies down the road. I'm going to give this a solid 3.5 stubbies, and I'm going to be very happy with that rating. Joe, what'd you think?
Well, if you read my review that I put on Facebook, you'll notice I also gave it 3.5 stubbies. This is going to be one of those that we just agree on,
Fuck.
Yeah, right.
I can't believe I have the same taste as you.
I got one little nitpick though. I wish.
You could have seen
I
Scarlett
wish.
Johansson naked.
Well, yeah, they tease you a bit, but.
I know, it's just not fair.
But I wish it would have been shown that she sees that he doesn't give a fuck that he leaves her,
Right.
or that
Well,
she leaves him.
I think really in Barbara Sugarman, she doesn't care. She doesn't see anything beyond her immediate gratification,
right.
frankly, and that's what she's
But
doing.
it
and
was
she's building something
so
up to.
nice to see him basically say, "Fuck you." No woman is going, and I can say it goes both ways.
Right.
No man should tell a woman what to do all the time
Right.
like that, and no woman should tell a man like, "Wait a second, I'm my own person. You're not going to
Yeah.
dictate what I
You
do."
should never. Yeah, I mean, you should never be able to tell a woman what to do, but sometimes you have to give her, a subtle
Well, like I say,
slap on the face to get her there.
Right. What is it? What is it the senator says?
Open hand means love. Closed fist means dominance.
Yeah, that.
And that's, I
Or you
mean,
fucked up and now you need correction.
Right.
Or-
It's really one of those things where, I mean, if your dishwasher is not working, you just slap her around a little bit.
Right.
I mean, I think
that works better at the bar.
we're not at the bar. No, Scarlett Johansson, like he said, it's nice to see because she's gorgeous. I mean, she's at.
Oh yeah.
I don't believe in a dime, but I mean, if I'm going to
She's
believe in a dime,
gorgeous.
she's a dime.
You know what?
And
Some of those other girls that he was
Megan Good
was scoring there.
Yeah. There's a lot of really nice cameos in this.
I thought were actually better than Scarlett Johansson.
What I think on it is, it's kind of funny to think that you have Scarlett Johansson in the bedroom and you're out in the living room, A, jerking off, and then B, saying fuck you at the end. And what I like about that is that it shows that no matter how pretty she is, there's always a guy that's tired of putting up with her shit.
Right.
And this is one of those things that, I mean, it really proves that. I would love
It
to see.
also shows there's plenty of fish in the sea, if you will.
I'd love to see that movie that actually takes place almost before this and see Barbara Strickland's story. Because she had to have gotten hurt somewhere down along the lines to make her treat Don John like this.
Maybe her mommy and daddy just told her she's a princess her whole life.
Right, and that's a very good possibility. But like, I think that's another story that needs to be examined. And what I like about this movie is it does do enough character building that it gives you that impression, that idea that, hey, this person has a backstory. It's not like the crap that most movies are today where they just drop something in the lap and expect you to know this character inside and out. My only complaint in this movie is I do feel like it ends very abruptly.
It does.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 90-minute movie,
It's
which is fine.
It's a sort of a happy end. It's
well,
a
of
happy
course,
end.
but it's abrupt. It's just very like, wait, I need 15 more minutes to sum some stuff up.
Exactly, that's kind of my nitpick. I wish they could have. Maybe Scarlett Johansson's walking by and sees those two together or something.
Well, you want the ultimate win,
right?
I want to know what happens to them. Well, there will never be a sequel to this.
You know nothing's going to happen. He alludes to it. He says, "I don't want a relationship. Right. She doesn't want a relationship. This is just."
Joe, I know you've been married for a while, but if we had $1 for every time that somebody said this was supposed to just be a rebound fuck and ended up marrying that person, you'd be surprised.
It wasn't a rebound.
No, I'm not saying this. I'm saying in life. Like outside the movies, I'm just saying these things happen. I mean, these two philosophically cannot work out in an actual relationship. Right. But I want to see what happens. I want to know how it ends. I like to know what happens to my characters, especially when I know there's no hope of a sequel. So that's something I would really like to have seen, was just an extra 15 minutes summing up how this relationship went. That's a problem with me. That's why I'm docking it the 1.5. Honestly, is that I had no final closure.
I don't know if I'm docking anything. I'm just not adding anything to it. You know.
Well, that's where you and I happen to disagree, and this comes down to me having good taste and you reviewing movies.
Or me having the glass half full and you having the glass half empty.
Yeah, because when I think of negative people, I just don't think of you at all.
Well, no, of course not.
No, you're a happy, shiny, go-lucky person that I think to myself, it's just kind of how life is.
You're a piece of shit.
If I had $1 for every time I heard that, it'd make me go ahead and want to watch more porn. No, this is a great movie. You definitely need to check it out. It's in theaters right now, so this is really the first thing that we watched that's still in theaters. So we're not too far behind. Blessings. Not to say that it won't take 3 weeks to actually get this posted online. But either way, do check this out. You will not be disappointed. You'll laugh. If you cry, then I'll make fun of you. But you'll laugh, and it's a good movie. And feel free to go home, go to Pornhub.com, and jerk off like a bandit. All right? Thank you very much, Joe. You got anything else you want to chime in?
I do want to say, you're talking about being posted every 3 weeks or whatever. Actually, our person that does all the editing, or I don't know if you want to call it producing or whatever, Josh Phillips.
This guy does our computer shit because we're old and we don't know what we're doing.
He does a great job. He does it for nothing because we do this for nothing. So
you're not getting paid?
Well, no, I'm not.
No, Josh does an absolutely fabulous job. So if you have a chance, you can find him on our Facebook page. Feel free to give him props because he does do this for nothing. He puts up with our crap and my relentless amount of text.
Especially your crap.
Yep, my relentless amount of text reminding him that that's not my job. I'm just the talent. No, he does an absolutely wonderful job, and we definitely do appreciate him. So please go to our Facebook, like us on our Facebook, go to our YouTube and subscribe, go to our podcast and subscribe, and know that none of that is possible if Josh did not work his
Post
ass
on our
off for
Facebook
us.
page. Let us know what you want us to review.
Yeah, make sure you do check us out there. If you want to give a little special shout out to Josh, that'd be wonderful. Otherwise, just let us know the movies you want to see, because we are doing next up will be a salute to horror movies.
For the month of October.
We're very, very excited about it. We're going to lead up to closure with Halloween, of course, which is one of the greatest horror
I think it's the
franchises
greatest.
ever made.
Obviously, it's debatable.
Obviously, but please do let us know the things you want to see. Because right now, Joe's going to do American-made horror movies. I'm going to do foreign-made horror movies, so I'm scared. But please do let us know so we know that we're not watching crap, but we're actually watching things you want to see. And speaking of watching things that you want to see, here's a little bit of porn for you. No, just kidding. Check out the next review. Thank you.
See ya.